of rat style pedals over the years, probably more rats than I have tube screamers actually. And they're always fun. I enjoy my time with them, but I guess eventually they do kind of fall by the wayside for me anyway. My ear eventually grows tired of the constant aggression and abuse that a lot of rats can give you. They have that frequency that is just constant, and that's kind of where the character comes from. But over time, for me anyway, it can get a bit much. So when one of my all-time favourite pedal builders, NRG Effects, said he was working on a rat-inspired pedal, I was really excited, but also quietly cautious. Neil's ethos is that he often starts with a classic circuit and tinkers and tweaks with it to his heart's content until he ends up with something quite different to the original thing. This is the Gnawer, the newest pedal in NRG Effects' Monochrome range of pedals. And in typical fashion, it is quite far removed from a traditional rat, but can still actually nail those original tones. 6 knobs, a 3-way toggle switch, and 2 foot switches. This may seem like quite a lot for a classic type overdrive, but I really like what Neil's done here. We're going to deep dive into the controls and the tones, but first, if you like this video and anything else on the channel, please subscribe. It helps me out a lot. So if you know rats, you'll know that there is one specific component that is often considered to make a rat a holy grail. This component is essentially the magic dust inside of a rat. And that is the LM308 opamp. And now Neil hasn't used that in this pedal. What he has used is an NE5534P opamp, which he says he's tuned to sound just as good as those LM308 opamp rats, but with less noise and much improved dynamics and response. So basically the Gnawer is already better than the holiest of holy grail of rats. The Gnawer is essentially a 2-sided overdrive. We have access to 2 different gain settings and 2 different bite settings with this second foot switch. The bite is essentially the treble presence control of the pedal, sort of in place of a filter control that you'd see on a rat pedal, but this bite control has much more power and is much better at fine-tuning your tone than that filter control was. Loud is obviously your volume, Gnaw is your gain control, and as I said, we have 2 of those for the 2 different sides of the pedal. Claw is an interesting control that kind of relaxes the high frequencies getting gained up. Really good for getting smoother, softer, more natural tones, and it negates that thing I mentioned earlier about the rat tone always being punishing on the ear. It kind of softens things up, makes things a little less aggressive and more natural. there is a 3-way toggle switch, and it changes the clipping of the pedal, clipping style, and also the headroom threshold. In the down position is most traditionally Rat, I guess. It has a really low headroom and is symmetrical clipping. In the middle position, we still have symmetrical clipping, but a much higher headroom. This is the highest headroom that this pedal has. And then in the up position, we have asymmetrical clipping, which is really interesting, and then sort of medium headroom. I've been flicking between the top 2 positions most of the time just to get the different flavour between asymmetrical and symmetrical clipping. I like that a lot. And I also think it's really nice that we can get a bit more headroom than a traditional Rat. Another technical thing, this pedal features NRG's own optical silent switching foot switch system in the back here. Basically gets rid of any popping and clicking that you might have when turning on and off the pedal. A small thing that actually makes a huge difference when you're using this pedal, and just so shows the attention to detail that Neil has. So we all know Rats are really good at rocking out with a load of gain, and the Gnawer is no exception. In fact, the high gain in this pedal is exceptional. Really, really, really great. Rock out all day long with a ton of gain. But one thing that a lot of Rat-inspired pedals I've tried lack is the lower gain tones. However, this might actually be the strongest part of the Gnawer. The low gain tones are just to die for, but they still have a really crunchy character that you just don't get from any other pedal. And being able to switch between 2 different gain settings just with a foot switch means that we can get the best of the low gain and the high gain tones just with a click of a button. This is another home run for NRG effects. I really, really dig this pedal. You guys have seen me cover quite a lot of Reeves electro pedals recently, and you guys know how amazing those pedals are built. And for me, NRG Effects is right up there with Reeves Electro. It's just amazing, amazing stuff inside of here. A different approach to Reeves, but still just as beautiful inside as they are outside. All said and done, I think I finally found the rat that's going to live on my pedalboard long term. Something I didn't think I'd ever be saying.